Uh-oh. Oh, okay. So hopefully this thing works. You know, this is going to be an experiment. We're going to have to see if you can read what's on the board. I'm going to remind me to write big if I forget to do that. So in chapter 1.4, it's talking about writing equations and inequalities. First of all, just to remind you guys, an equation always has what in it? Right, an equation has an equal sign, right? An inequality it's going to either say, what would that sound? What does that mean? What's that sign?
Greater.
Greater than, right? That's greater than. All right, what's this one? Less than. What's this one?
Greater than or equal to.
Greater than or equal to. Okay, and then what's this one?
Less equal to. Yeah, less than.
Less than or equal to. Great. So understanding that is going to be really helpful in terms of writing, taking words from a problem, a word problem, and turning it into a number problem, right? An actual mathematical equation, right? So there are words that are associated with some of these things that you will often see in a word problem. For example, if it says equal to, they might say something like this, the same as. The same as, meaning it's equal to, or is identical to, right? But now for less than, they might say fewer than. They might say fewer than. Let's see. They might say no more than, right? Actually, that would be more for greater. That would actually be more for this one. Actually, wait a minute. No more than. Because think about it. For this one, if the number of apples that I have in my hand is no more than 10, how would I write that? The number of apples, x, would have to be no more than 10. Can they be 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be 10. So it could be equal to, but it also has to be no more than. So does it have to be bigger than or less than? Less than, right? So that would be an example of no more than 10 apples. X is no more than 10. So I'm going to erase this here because that would include an equal sign. So that would just be fewer than for less than. For greater than, let's stick with this one since we're on this one. Is less than or equal to, at most, no more than. You could also see at most. You might see those words, at most. You know, the number of petunias he's got growing in his in his garden is no more than 20. That would mean it would have to be x is less than or equal to 20 petunias. No more than, right? Now, what about the other one? If you said greater than, this one could be, they said, what did they say? Greater than or equal to? At least, no less than. Right, so you could do no less than. No less than. Okay, the number of sailboats on the lake are no less than 20. No less than 20. That would mean x is greater than or equal to 20. Make sense? It's no less than. It can't be less than 20, but it can equal 20. But it can't be less than 20. So it's got to be more than 20. 20 or more. So x is greater than or equal to 20. You could also say at no less than at least, right? At least. There are at least 10 birds in the tree. So the number of birds is x is greater than or equal to 10, right? Okay, so that's kind of helpful. So, can I erase all that now? Are you guys done with it? So we're gonna try some of these.
Don't raise. Oh.
Well, that's why I just asked.
That's right.
You're supposed to answer the question, right? So, all right, I won't erase them.
Did your computer just die?
What?
Did your computer just die?
I hope not.
Okay.
No, it seems to be working. Okay, thank you. I think.
It's working.
Stop recording. Yeah, it's still working. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so write equation. Okay, so let's write an equation or an inequality. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to write an equation or an inequality. Write an equation or inequality. Okay, A, the difference of twice the number k and 8 is 12. So the difference of twice the number k and 8 is 12. Twice a number k and 12 is, no, I'm sorry, and 8. Sorry, and 8 is 12. So now we've got to do that. Now, one thing I just want to review really fast, because it's been a while since you guys have been thinking about math. What if you have the word sum, the word difference, the word product, or the word quotient? What are they? What operations are they actually telling you to do, Alicia?
Okay. Sum is addition.
Okay. So you're going to add.
Is subtraction.
Difference is subtraction.
Product is multiplication.
Product is multiply. I'm going to put a dot.
Quotient is divide.
Right, divide. Right? So whenever you see those terms, you know what you're going to be doing. You just have to know which one to do it in. So the difference, if I said the difference of A and B, write the difference of A and B, the difference of A and B. Difference of A and B. This is how you'd write it. You write the A first, then you put the minus sign, and then you put the B. You do it in order, from left to right, in a sentence. Does that make sense? So the difference of 8 and 10 is 8 minus 10. Right? You always put the first one first, then the minus, and the second number. So, with that in mind, it says the difference of twice the number k and 8 is 12. We want to write an equation or an inequality. Would this be an equation or an inequality? Merritt?
Equation.
Why?
Because it has the word is, which
Is.
says equal.
Right? Is like the same as. It's identical to, right? Is means equals, right? So the difference of twice the number k and 8 is 12. So we know it's going to be an equal sign. It says is 12. So I can do that right now, right? Equals 12. But over here I got to put something. The difference, I know there's going to be a minus sign, of twice a number, that's got to be over here. Right? Because you put the first thing first. Twice the number k. How would I write twice the number k? 2k. Fabulous. So 2k, that's twice the number k, and 8. So then minus 8 is equal to 12. Pretty straightforward, right? You just have to follow those rulings, you know. That if the difference, you put the first thing first, and then the minus sign, and then the second number, and then is equals, and then 12. So that was pretty easy. So let's try B. The product of 6 and a number n is at least 24. The product of 6 and, I can get rid of this now, right? This stuff. The product of 6 and a number n is at least 24. And a number n is at least. There's that at least again. So is that going to be an equation or an inequality? Yeah.
Inequality.
An inequality. Why?
Because there, is at least is the same as to is equal to or greater than.
Right. It can't be smaller than 24, right? It can be 24, but it can be bigger than 24. It just can't be less than 24, right? So we know that it's got to be bigger than 24. So we know it's going to be bigger than or equal to 24. Right off the bat, right? It's at least 24. 24 is the smallest it can be. All right, then what do we do here? The product, what does product mean again? Multiply, right? Of 6 and a number, n.
So 6n.
There you go. So 6n is greater than or equal to 24. And then you know how to solve these, I'm assuming, right? You just divide by 6. What's the rule, though, when you're solving an inequality? Does anybody know that? Remember that rule? It's just like solving an equation. Like, you know, I would divide by 6, divide by 6. Since I divided by a positive number, there's no problem. It's not going to change this. Had this been negative 6, I would have to do negative 6 and negative 6. When I do that, then this changes. This inequality sign flips. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? That's the only thing. You have to, if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, then this inequality sign has to flip. Right? But I'm only dividing by a positive, so it doesn't have to flip. So I just have n is greater than or equal to 24 divided by 6 is 4. Right? And then that would be my answer. But we got it by taking these words and creating our equation. Right? All right, C. Can I erase A? I'm going to assume that means yes.
C.
All right, I'm going to put C up here. Okay, a number y is no less than 5 and no more than 13. A number y is no less than 5. No less than 5. And no more than what?
I don't know.
Than 13. Okay, can I erase this now? This B?
Sure, if you want to.
Go for it,
Oh, no.
Let me just finish this last one. Let me hang on just one second. The number is no less than 5. So we've got the number y. It's no less than, it's got to be bigger than 5, right? So I'm going to say y is bigger than and also or equal to 5, or and y no more than 13. Y is less than or equal to 13. And I can write that like this. I could put my y in the middle, and I could say y is bigger than or equal to 5, so I'm going to put it like this and put the 5 over here. And then I'm going to put that like that. So that's how you would technically write it.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you see them written like that. So homework is going to be 1.4. Yeah, you can stop that name, sorry. 1.4, read it and then do